Before we begin, I would like to give my flowers to John Cena. I would also like to say that Triple H, Paul Levesque, broke another record for the largest gathering of John Cena's burial. Cue the boos. Now, fortunately, as we all know, Triple Fraud's burial spree of John Cena had come to an end on Saturday, but at what cost? You got him tapping out, going against everything he stands for. Not to mention, his whole farewell tour has been completely sabotaged by an awful heel run, a bad WrestleMania match, and you have him getting squashed by Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza. And last but not least, you have him tap out in his final match to the Burger General. Oh wait, I'm sorry, the Ring General. Fuck you. Oh yes, and how could I forget? You have LA Knight getting caught in the crossfire, having him tap out to the Mickey D General, and getting written off by guys like Big Cheese Bronson Reed. But honestly, I take that more than him submitting to Gunther, who was the same man who tapped out to Jey Jellybean Uso in 5 seconds. The same man who struggled against Pat Macafee, a commentator. And even then, he didn't tap out to Gunther, yet I'm supposed to believe that this man tapped out John Cena? We're supposed to believe that this man is going to be this generation's legend killer? And mind you, Gunther is pushing Viagra age. Get out of my face with that crap, man. Now, I understand LA Knight isn't young himself, but he got himself over organically. But even then, he's not going to be around for the next 20 years neither. LA Knight should have been world champion way before Cena's retirement, but Paddington Levesque refused to pull the trigger. Mind you, the same thing has been going on with Randy Orton's heel turn. They have been teasing this heel turn for over 2 years, and the only thing that Randy Orton has done is I fuck the title the whole time. Yet we're too focused on trying to make Gunther the supposed future of WWE. When you have people in NXT like Trick Williams and Obafemi who are way better than Gunther at everything. Now, I'm not trying to say Gunther is an irredeemable wrestler, no, far from it. Gunther can be redeemed if Triple Fraud locks in. But the problem is that Gunther needs to change some things about himself as well. First off, Gunther needs to learn how to cut better promos instead of saying how much he's gonna pin somebody in the middle of that yang. Shout out the Heels Advocate, by the way. Now, another reoccurring issue that I noticed with Gunther's booking is that you have him struggle against guys like Otis, guys like Tozawa. You know, guys that you would expect, like with Gunther's size, you would expect him to not be struggling against guys like that. Not to say that short people in WWE are a bad thing. No, you got your short kings like Rey Mysterio, you got Eddie Guerrero, you got AJ Styles. I mean, hell, I'm a bit of a short king myself. I'm only like 5'8", 5'9", so I can't really talk too much shit. Now, mind you, I got nothing against underdog stories. I like me a good underdog story if it's executed properly. Take Eddie Guerrero versus Brock Lesnar, for example. Eddie Guerrero implemented his life problems into that story. Like, it was a nice blend between fiction and reality. But not only that, it showed Eddie Guerrero overcoming his, his D-word abuse and coming out on top when the odds were stacked against him. But the difference between Eddie Guerrero and all these other underdogs nowadays is that Eddie Guerrero made you care. I can't really see myself caring about a Sami Zayn underdog story, because when I think of Sami Zayn, I don't think of a wrestler. I think of one of those homeless people I see on the street, begging for change. Now, I'm not bashing Sami Zayn as a person, but I feel presentation-wise, his character could use some work. Now, the thing I don't understand about Sami Zayn being an underdog is if he's the underdog, why is he winning so much? It's like you say he's positioned as an underdog, yet he's winning all these matches. It's like Drew McIntyre's hot and cold booking throughout the year. But we're getting off track. This isn't about either of those guys. This is about Gunther and Triple H. So anyway, let us continue. Thirdly, Gunther needs to shed off the body fat and take himself back to the Performance Center. Because what we saw at Saturday night's main event, all this guy was doing was just 4 moves at a time. All he was doing was a chokehold, a very bad looking splash, chopping, and drop kicking. Although I will admit, it is a lot better than seeing Jey Uso super kick somebody like 50,000 times. And lastly, Gunther, if you're the Ring General, show up to wrestle. Now let's get to the main event, ladies and gentlemen. Because it is time for me to lay down the Triple H pipe bomb here. So, let's not waste any time and let's get started. So first off, Triple H, let me begin by saying, you fucked up, Baldy. Let me also say, I don't hate you, but I do heavily dislike your massive ego, and how impervious to change you are, Paul Levesque. You have built graves for wrestlers like LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor. Hell, I'll even throw Gunther in there for extra credit because of that tap out to Jey Uso. I can even sprinkle in, a little bit of Austin Theory, Carmelo Hayes, guys like that. But that tap out to Jey Uso is still lingering on Gunther. You gave guys like Karrion Kross the cold shoulder by refusing to make anything intriguing for him. You bring in jobbers like Jeffy Cobb. You throw Travis Scott in the WrestleMania main event to have Cena, the GOAT, win his 17th title, which I can't even comprehend why he was there to begin with, since The Rock abandoned the whole Mania story. Aside from all that, you straight up killed the momentum of the Ron Killings arc, which went nowhere. On top of that, Drew had one of the best feuds last year with Punk, and he got nothing. LA Knight got himself over organically, yet you refuse to pull the trigger on people who deserve it. Lastly, you constantly jerk us around with the Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes feud that has been brewing for over 2 years. Aside from the fact that you rely on cheap pops just to get temporary buzz, the fact that you are constantly reliant to use older stars and are reluctant to build newer stars is sad. All it is a poor attempt at a nostalgia trip because you don't know how to build new stars in 2025. Now I know Paul Levesque won't apologize, but he should for ruining John Cena's legacy and retirement. But not only John Cena, us as the fans deserve one for you being one of the biggest liars of all time. Constantly telling us we're in a new era, but it's the same old shit every week. That nose of yours is hiding zero secrets. Triple fraud. You want to push people for getting over organically. Guys who have natural talent like LA Knight and Montez Ford. You should apologize, and it will savor WWE any more embarrassment than it already has after the retirement tour that John Cena had to bear. For those of you who have stayed, thank you for listening to my TED Talk, and this is where I leave the video. Comment your thoughts on everything, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you guys in the next video. And you all stay blessed.